So, what is it that really makes a good teacher great? You know, the kind you never forget? Is it just their lesson plan, their personality? Well, today we're going to dissect the blueprint of an absolutely unforgettable educator to figure that out. But first, just take a second. Close your eyes if you want. Picture that one teacher who really, truly made a difference for you. What was it about them? Was it their passion, the way they made a tough subject finally click? Okay, hold that thought, because we're about to see how one teacher embodied all of that, and then some.
And the only reason we can do this is thanks to this incredibly detailed account from a student in New Zealand talking about their language teacher. It's so specific, so thoughtful. It's basically a step-by-step manual for what it means to be an exceptional educator. Let's dig in.
All right, first up, we're going to look at the how. This is the craft, the deliberate strategy. This is where we see that this teacher wasn't just, showing up to teach a subject. She was literally architecting an entire learning experience from the ground up.
And she did this in 4 key ways. First, she built this super clear framework. Then, she personalized the practice for every single student. She also was really smart about managing the energy in the room. And finally, she actively engineered collaboration. Let's break down what that actually means. So clarity was everything. There was zero guesswork. The students said the course was so well structured, they knew exactly which skills they needed to get down every 2 weeks. Think about that. It just builds so much confidence, it removes all that "what am I supposed to be doing" anxiety, and it lets you just focus on learning.
And she totally blew the one-size-fits-all model out of the water. Yeah, she had extra resources for listening, writing, all the usual stuff. But get this, the student mentioned they weren't very sensitive to numbers. So what did the teacher do? She created special exercises for them with millions of numbers just for them to practice. I mean, wow, that is some next-level personalization right there.
This is just genius classroom management. She got that student energy isn't a flat line, it goes up and down. So she front-loaded her lessons. She put the toughest, most brain-draining stuff right at the beginning of class when everyone was fresh. And then, as the class went on, the content would get a little lighter. It's such a simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful.
She even designed the community itself. She did not leave socializing to chance. She had students sit with different people, breaking up the usual cliques and kind of forcing them to interact. And the result? A super supportive classroom where everyone felt comfortable. The student even mentioned how one classmate would help them with writing, and in return, they'd help that person with listening. It just worked.
Okay, let's move on to the second part. Because if part 1 was the architecture, the bones of the classroom, part 2 is the heart. This is the why. It's all about the human connection that turned a well-run class into a real memorable community.
Just look at these gestures. None of this stuff is in a teacher's job description, right? A mandatory good morning to start the day together, a free notebook on day 1, a piece of chocolate on your desk to help with exam stress, celebrating Halloween just for fun, sharing funny, candid photos from class. I mean, on their own, they're small things, but you put them all together and they send a really powerful message. I see you and I care.
And her commitment, it just went so far beyond the norm. A standard teacher keeps communication formal. She was on WhatsApp, answering questions on weekends. A standard teacher stays in the classroom. She actually went to her students' events. She didn't just give academic advice, she gave life advice. And she didn't just say goodbye at the end of the course. She offered long-term help, like writing recommendation letters years later. It's just a whole other level.
And really, it all just boils down to this one simple, powerful statement from the student. After everything, all the incredible professional craft, and all the genuine personal care, this says it all. This is the ultimate testament to the bond she created.
So what's the lasting impact? What actually happens when that meticulous craft of an architect meets the genuine connection of a friend?
Now, before I show you the final quote, I want this number to sink in. 4 hours. That's how long each class was. Just think about that. Think about the longest meeting you've ever had to sit through. 4 hours is a marathon. It's a real test of endurance.
And there it is. That's the magic. A 4-hour class that felt like it passes quickly. That feeling doesn't just happen. It's the direct result of everything we've just talked about. The smart pacing, the collaborative vibe, the personal touches, that feeling of being genuinely cared for. It all came together to make 4 hours just fly by. And that is the hallmark of a truly great teacher.
You know, when you really look at it, this story isn't just about a classroom. It's a masterclass in how powerful structure and real heart can create a meaningful human connection. And whether you're a manager, a parent, or a friend, these lessons are universal. So the only real question left is, who are you going to share them with?